Our destiny is our hand. It's in our hands. If we want Nigeria to split, it's in our hand. If we don't want it, we can manage our crisis.
The only thing that can save the country in 2015 that if there's what a transparent, free and fair election.
It's not all about election, it's all about giving the people what they want.
Let us follow the law. Let us allow the law to have its course. 2015 is still some miles away, you understand?
Hello there. Welcome to this week's edition of Patitos Gang. Today we're going to look at the 2015 elections. Issues and fact check before the elections come. Have campaigns started? How ready are we? How meaningful will the elections be? We go to the man and the woman in the street and we go to the bank. Don't go away.
The only thing that can save the country in 2015 that if there's what a transparent, free and fair election.
It's not all about election, it's all about giving the people what they want. It's not all about election. Election will surely come. We are looking up to 2015. And the people, they are warming up. They are not ready to give way.
Well, I think I like what INEC is doing now. INEC is talking about deregistering more parties. Because INEC gives some stipend to all these political parties, those who know they have no political value will just congregate into a political party in order to get some money. So more parties should be deregistered so that we cut the money we spend on elections. So that should do. So let us follow the law. Let us allow the law to have its course. 2015 is still some miles away, you understand?
In sincerity, our destiny is in our hands. Not just what America has predicted or anybody. Our destiny is our hand. It's in our hands. If we want Nigeria to split, it's in our hand. If we don't want it, we can manage our crisis. And that requires sincerity or purpose from everybody involved.
Hello there. Welcome to today's edition of Patitos Gang. Today we're going to talk about politics. Well, if we're not talking about football, we're talking politics or other problems. 2015 is coming, April 2015 specifically, if it will come, because some people are already expressing doubt whether there's going to be postponement, but that's a topic for another day. Have the campaigns really started? Is there a viable opposition? What is expected of the parties, whether the incumbent or the opposition? So, really, Austin,
yes.
You think there is reason to hope? I mean, have you registered to vote?
Of course I have.
Yes.
I don't know about you. Do you vote?
And then the next question is, if I vote, will my vote count?
Well, it's going to count this time.
Okay, so let's see what the gang members have to say about this, really. So 2015, issues, fact check. What are we going to look out for? What do we expect from the opposition?
I think where are we in the campaign? At this point, the opposition actually has not selected or appointed or produced its own candidate.
Or anointed.
Whatever. There is not a sole candidate ready for the main opposition party.
When you say main opposition party, let's be specific now.
APC.
APC.
Yes.
Okay.
Whereas for the PDP, in essence, they have their candidate for president.
The incumbent?
The incumbent.
President Jonathan.
Although I understand that they are screening two candidates.
That one has stepped down.
Well, I read in today's paper that
He has stepped down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they have one candidate.
Stepped down.
The Tafawa Balewa man.
Yeah. So at this point, I would say for the major opposition, the main contest is really internal to the party mainly, to become the candidate. Mm-hmm. Whereas it is clear from what President Jonathan and his surrogates, whether it's the transformation ambassadors of Nigeria or Forward Nigeria, they have been trying to build a case for their candidate to the people. And they've been putting out...
Their candidate is the president.
Yes, their candidate is the president. And they've been putting facts out there. Well, they've been putting out statements describing what their candidate has achieved all over the place.
Are they trying to sell him to his own party or to sell him to Nigerians?
Oh, they're campaigning to Nigeria now. They've sold him. Everybody in PDP loves their candidate, so they don't have to sell him anymore.
Because that another question is, who is really PDP? Are we talking about a few guys there, or really whether individuals belong to parties? But anyway, So you think that it's a closed issue?
No, but you find that again that about 10% of voters actually belong, less than 10% actually belong to political parties. Less than 10% of those that vote belong to political parties.
Okay.
So you know, so you find again that how do we sensitize the voters to actually go out there and vote? And like you asked, will the vote count?
Yes, because if you sensitize me to vote,
Yes.
we are assuming that it will matter whether I vote or not.
That's right. So
and then we start talking about INEC.
INEC, yes, we need to make sure that our votes count. So it's important.
So how do we do that? How do we make sure our vote? What do we do about INEC?
You know, big men like you, you know, you just go cast a ball, you go back and sleep.
No, but
You know why we have to wait? You have to wait to make sure.
The point
Yeah.
is that that's where exactly the political parties, you know, as I would always say, you know, have fallen short of what they're supposed to be doing. The bulk of the sensitization, the mobilization, grassroots mobilization should be coming from the political parties. You know, elsewhere, in other climes, political parties do much more than what you see INEC today doing. Take the PVC.
Sorry, political parties and INEC. INEC is the
Electoral Commission, the umpire,
Okay.
the one that actually
Okay.
you know, regulates and moderates
Okay.
political activities and electioneering activities.
Okay.
But you know, elsewhere you see political parties, those who are struggling to take power, you know, take up that role, go to the nooks and crannies of the country, educate the people on the need to be eligible to vote and to vote. You know, and this is where I see the political parties, as it were now, not doing what they're supposed to do. Right, I would say the APC, I think the Lagos State government that is doing something related to that right now, trying to, you know, there was a jingle, you know, now that, but that's just a scratch, as far as I'm concerned. There's much more that needs to be done. Right now, what you see is just rolling out of.
If you compile
achievements and what
a
have you.
scorecard of the incumbent leaders, president, governors, it should, in a sense, determine the outcome of the forthcoming elections, right? Because if you're telling me that my vote will count, it will only count if I have a way to measure those in power.
Yeah.
For instance, if you look at provision of basic amenities like power, for instance, I know that you run a business. Now, what are you going to be looking out for to determine who you vote for instance?
Thank you very much. But first of all, I want a very strong, viable opposition to be able to create a platform whereby the existing structure of PDP will be challenged. Because if there's a very strong opposition, they learn from each other. We expect something better. But April is coming close. The opposition are not yet in place to really put a competition and pressure on achievement or what people are expecting from whoever is going to win.
There's a lot of cross-carpeting to the opposition, so they should have numbers, right?
For now, you know,
That's even where the risk is.
there's a lot of cross-carpeting now without confidence. And that cross-carpeting now is affecting the voters to know what do we expect. Because everybody is just after whatever I can get. It's a very big challenge. The issue of power, education, now you say enough to educate the voters. They don't have a primary education. The primary education is already is a challenge before going to political education. You know?
Well, I think INEC has about 70 million registered voters, which I presume is something that the parties are happy about. It's a significant, it seems to be a significant number. So in terms of getting people to register, that really doesn't seem to be what is missing. People are interested in registering. I think it's clear from the lines one sees. That's fine. And I think people have actually have more confidence that their vote will count now because they had good results in 2011. 2011, I believe, was the first one where the numbers actually are supposed to mean something.
Okay.
So when Buhari had 12.2 million votes, people believe that he actually had 12.2 million votes. So I think we have a basis on which to build. INEC's behavior, though, in the last few months has, I think it's raised additional concerns that maybe we're backtracking.
Exactly. So that brings us to something now. How much do we trust? Because the umpire is INEC, okay? How much do we trust the umpire? How much do we trust the incumbent government to make sure we have a level playing field? We're going to take a break now. When we come back, we'll look at this and other issues. Don't go away. This is still Patitos Gang.
Patitos Gang, Nigeria's favorite television talk show, is back on local terrestrial TV. The 30-minute potpourri goes to the heart of the matter with its focus on the common good, making government accountable to the people and deepening democracy. Your ultimate electronic village square talk show makes a big comeback with Eugene Ohu and Austin Nweze as co-pilots. Patitos Gang features credible voices from all sides of the political divide in a no-holds-barred discussion. Patitos Gang, more vibrant, more incisive, and more analytical than ever.
We are back. This is still Patitos Gang. Before we went on break, where we're looking at the umpire and whether we'll have a level playing field, because we are assuming that the incumbent government that is also running for a second term is not actually interfering with the process.
Yeah, I think this is a very litmus test for INEC. Now, they have conducted the election in Anambra State, and they fared better than 2011. They have conducted in Osun State. They have also conducted in Ekiti State. And these people gave them at least 50% pass mark. So, but now, this is where the test is. Will they continue? Will the ruling party allow?
Are you seeing signs that may not allow it?
Yeah, because I'm seeing signs. Even the opposition are also working hard to get INEC on their side.
What do you mean?
What signs?
Sorry.
I haven't seen any signs. I haven't seen signs yet. Well, I haven't seen signs yet that the federal government is actually trying to interfere in INEC.
Okay.
I've seen signs, though, that the federal government is interested in exercising control over some of the key security agencies that would be involved in the election, such as the police.
Why?
Presumably to strengthen their position during the election.
Yeah, isn't that the borderline indirectly?
But I'm saying they're not interfering with INEC. They may be interfering with other organs of government.
Now, but again, the thing is that INEC before now should have been doing some sensitization. What the parties, when there are no elections, I believe that INEC should be able to be doing sensitization, educating the people.
Sorry, I still have to take you back to that.
No, but just a minute. He made a point about education. You need the primary education before you think of political education. Yeah. Now, the point is that the level of literacy in this country, is too low for us people to understand what democracy is all about.
I think we're underestimating the Nigerian voter. I believe the Nigerian voter knows what he wants and will vote for that. I believe. Poverty may distort certain things, but I believe really they're educated enough to know what they want for their families, for their children, for themselves.
The problem now, the pressure of survival is a challenge to Nigeria now. Yeah. The pressure down there is quite much.
Okay, now let's look at the opposition, because we are assuming that a good electoral process benefits the people. We have the ruling party, PDP. We have many people cross-carpeting from PDP to APC. Let's draw our attention. Let's draw our attention.
On principle or what?
Now, that's the question. Are they cross-carpeting on principle? Anyway. At the end, will this APC not fall into the hands of the PDP, because now they have a problem selecting or electing who is going to represent them?
It will just amount to stating the obvious if I say there is no difference between the PDP and the opposition.
Please state it. What do you mean?
Let me tell you, for instance, what is happening now is just what I say, cross-fertilization of ideas and whatever. If those days, let me just take you back to the days of MPN and the days of MPP, the PRP and whatever in the 79, 80s, early 80s. Then, as a growing up, as a child, as a young guy, I was in primary school then, I knew what the manifesto of MPP was. I knew that the people, they draw a person, a human being, and say, that's what it stands for. This is our principle. This is what it stands for. It stood for. I knew that MPN, with the corn and all those things, they say, okay, they are for agriculture, they are for this and whatever. Today, we have many parties, apart from the major opposition party, the APC, we have the PDP, and we have other parties. I cannot really say that Nigerians
You know what
are
they
very
stand-
much aware
you know what they
of
stand for?
what they stand for.
PDP stands for power.
In terms of when you're talking about what they stand for, I'm actually
That's
saying
political power.
that, you know,
No,
the-
but
the-
if I may come in, you know, to be honest, I have to give to APC. Why? It's a collection of different parties coming together. This is the first time.
Which
I'm
is
seeing-
unique.
It's
It's
very
unique.
unique. You know, to harmonize this is like mixing about 10 different families, 10 different culture to melt into
including
one.
the PDP, including the PDP.
Everybody is
the ruling party.
Is
coming
there,
together.
is there a finished product
Including
right
the-
now?
including the new
That's
PDP.
not.
Is there a finished product right now?
Anywhere in the world that you can get a finished product.
No,
is
what I
party-
mean, because
Precisely.
elections are coming. When it's time to present their candidate, does APC have one person they will present as a presidential
They
candidate?
will surely do that. It
APC
will be a
has been
continuous
quite
structure.
clear.
Yes.
They are actually going to run primaries to choose their candidate.
Yes, they
and
will.
they're doing their primaries in a few weeks' time.
Okay.
So that is when we will know who their candidate is.
Let me just mention
And
that.
I think they've gone further in their amalgamation, where all the parties, all the primary candidates, all the candidates have said, whoever wins, we're backing that person. I think that is a critical step for the party and for democracy, for proper elections in this country.
I think it's important for us to understand that about 24, 25 political parties, INEC, you know.
And, I mean, don't test my brain by asking me who they are. Eh? Okay,
There are several.
I will know. I know a few.
Once you get past the first half dozen, you don't have to bother with this.
That is the point I was making when I said that the actual electionary period, the process, should be done by the political parties. They should engage us. They should be the one that is doing this election. This 2015 is so INEC-centric. It's so centered on INEC accusation, allegations, and counter-allegations. And
Because
whatever.
there are-
Let the political parties engage us. Let the political parties get busy with what they know how to do best, and every other thing will fall in place.
The problem now is still the issue of the structure of the parties still have a lot of cracks.
What if
They are
the
still
what if
building
the
up.
what if the parties think that it's useless to even talk?
Sorry?
What if those other smaller parties think that it's useless to even make an effort?
No, I think
Well, that is
after PDP, APC, you have SDP, you have
ABGA.
ABGA is there. You know,
where are these parties?
They're there. They are there.
Where are they? You know, that's the point.
Yeah,
That's the
SDP.
point.
You don't
Because-
know what SDP is doing in Ogun State?
Okay, fine. And now we're getting specific about parties and it's getting interesting. But unfortunately, we have to go. But before we go, we'll just have a short roundup. So quickly, we start from you about the scenario, fact check, issues before 2015.
You know, I wish the things will come to pass, and I wish they'll be able to give Nigeria what Nigeria are really yearning for. Because Nigeria are really not asking for much. Little things. Power, water, and education that is so dear to me. Our children are losing almost 170 days today in school.
Okay.
They are losing 6 months, 5 months. It's the highest in the world. We are producing the highest uneducated graduate in Nigeria. So they can help me in that area. Today now, I say it with all authority. Don't give me power. Don't give me good road. Give me human capacity.
Fantastic. Marcel?
And then 2015, what I'm saying is, let's make 2015, let not 2015 mar us, let it make us as Nigeria. Let's begin to engage positive ideas, positive issues. Let's not break this country. Let's not play into the hands of the enemies. We need to engage. We need to do real politicking. We need to keep Nigeria moving.
Fantastic, Austin.
I think the focus for politicians, those seeking office, is what can they offer the people, not for themselves. The bigger picture is the people, and then they should put their selfish interests behind and focus on the people.
I think we the citizens need to listen to what the politicians are telling us and will tell us. We need to have open minds, but we need to challenge what they tell us. Whether it is what they say they have done or what they say they will do, but we have to challenge them and try and get the best, try and get something we can depend on out of them.
Fantastic. So let the parties address real issues, improve human capacity, and then an educated populace. Well, fantastic. So that's it for now. This Patitos Gang, thank you for joining us. We'll see you again. Bye-bye. Well, we heard the voices on the streets, and then we heard the gang members.
A viable opposition will make the 2015 election what Nigerians expect. We owe it to Nigerians, or the political parties owe it to Nigerians, to present a good opposition. PDP, APC, if they can sort out their internal problems. Otherwise, some say they will play into the hands of the PDP. At the end, Nigerians will be better for a viable opposition. That was Patito's Gang this week. Thanks for joining us. See you next week. Bye-bye.
It seems as if no one is in control.